Hey, today we're gonna look at the zodiac, the whole thing, the wholeness, the whole cycle, from the 1st to the 12th house, the signs, symbols, planets, and the houses associated with each sign. And oh gosh, I still have the finished list here. Let me just quickly switch. So here you can see what is what. The signs are on the outer circle. There's Cancer. And then there's the ruling planet. We call the moon also a planet. And then the 4th house. As one example. So gonna keep in mind that this is like a very short overview, and there you could talk about each of these signs for hours on end, but we're gonna just look at like the most like common themes of these signs to give a short nice overview. And we all have all these houses in our chart, we all have all these planets in our chart, so it's great to know about all of the signs, and that's why I thought I'd make like a short introduction for someone who is just getting into astrology or who wants to have a little recap. Okay, so we're gonna start with Aries. Aries season, sun goes into Aries at spring equinox, and Aries is the sign of the beginning spark, the divine will, the divine spark that through our instincts takes charge and makes things happen in our lives. And it's about our individuality and our own will, our own direction that we choose for ourselves through being connected to our authentic self. So that's Aries. Then we have Taurus. Oh yeah, I meant to mention Aries is ruled by Mars and is connected to the 1st house. And Taurus is connected to Venus and the 2nd house. So Taurus has to do with our sensual nature, our embodiment, our relationship to our body, and also to the environment, to nature, and to our sense of safety, financially especially. And I do feel like that has a connection to the environment and what shape our environment is in. Like if we have a lot of lush and diverse ecosystems around, then that would make us very happy in a Taurus kind of way, where we would feel safe if there's like different kinds of food in the natural environment that we can harvest at different times of the year and things like this, because that's real wealth to have that kind of relationship to our environment, where there is this natural abundance and diversity present. Taurus also has to do with like the steady pace of like not rushing, taking it slow, but like steady progress. Then we have Gemini, third house, ruled by Mercury. And Gemini is linked to communication, learning and studying, and also like interest in diverse things, combining different interests and bridging different dimensions. It's kind of like a messenger, Mercury. And yeah, has to do with language and such things. And with siblings. Then we have Cancer, fourth house, ruled by the moon. Cancer is our emotions. It's the safety of home. It is the safety to feel all our feelings and the presence and acceptance of those feelings, the allowing of feelings, and knowing that it's not bad to feel. Even if it doesn't feel great, it is, I guess, our lot to feel through it and to, yeah, be there for ourselves, or hopefully our families are there for us so we can feel through things, but we can also be there for ourselves to hold that space for our inner child as like a more adult version of ourselves becomes present for it. So that's Cancer. Leo is about bringing your unique, authentic voice from your heart, your expression, bringing that to others in creative means, different kinds of creative means, different like arts or other creative means too. Creativity doesn't really, can't be boxed in, so it can really be very diverse ways how this comes through, but it's your unique, authentic spark and fire from within that you're expressing and bringing forward in Leo, the fifth house. Then we have Virgo, sixth house, ruled by Mercury. And Virgo is connected to healing and discernment, trying something out and then evaluating what works, what doesn't work, and then trying again with like a renewed approach. And it also has to do with bringing our gifts, our innate gifts, to the community in a way that serves the community, meets its needs, but at the same time serves us, ourselves too, because we're part of the community. And yeah, That's the task of Virgo, to figure that balance out so that Virgo's not getting too exhausted, forgetting to take care of themselves, or getting too overwhelmed with demands from the outside. Instead, finding ways where they can contribute and also at the same time get what they need. Then we have Libra, 7th house, ruled by Venus. Libra is linked to our relating and to seeking justice and harmony in relationships. And I feel like we could extend that to like relating to also our environment, to plant life, animal life, wanting to bring that more back into harmony, where we're not trying to control too much others, to find balanced ways of getting along with each other. Scorpio, 8th house, ruled by Pluto, has to do with transformation and transmuting the stagnancy back into flow. It is those obstacles, but it is also the resolving of them, facing them, processing, and then releasing, and a sort of rebirth when we are able to let go of old patterns that no longer serve and move into our next version. And it also has to do with the subconscious mind and symbols. Then we have Sagittarius, 9th house, ruled by Jupiter. And Sagittarius has to do with learning by doing, by exploring, maybe traveling, and then learning about different belief systems, and then eventually forming your own unique meaning in relationship to your experiences. And it also starts to have to do with the wise old man, wise old woman archetype, even though that's the signs kind of from 9 to 12 feel relates to all of those kind of in different ways. This is kind of where we start to find that through acquiring experience and more knowledge, and then we can become more like a teacher to ourselves. Through this evolutionary cycle. And here we have Capricorn, 10th house, ruled by Saturn. Has to do with our work, has to do with maturing and stepping into our own authority. And I guess especially comes up with our Saturn return, some challenges of finding how to be the sovereign individuals who rule our own lives in our highly unique ways. It also has to do with some, can be like societal structures that can sometimes become too rigid and restricting, and then they need to be renewed. But in a more original sense, I feel like Capricorn could also be thought of like the bedrock, or the ecosystems that are kind of like a structure too, but it's more like living and adaptable. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius has to do with evolution, progress, something new, shifting the status quo, challenging it, and bringing something totally different, as could be a scientist or like an inventor. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, linked to the 11th house. Also has to do with community and equality, humanity, and seeing that we're all unique and important in our own ways. Then we have Pisces, ruled by Neptune, 12th house. Pisces is wholeness. It is the entirety. It is everything, all in one. It is the outside of time perspective in a way. Uranus kind of too, but Pisces kind of envelops all the quantum different timelines and everything. So yeah, it's the union of opposites, and it is where we realize that reality has light and shadow, and that we also in ourselves have that, and that, yeah, sometimes before we realize that, there's some illusions going on about like thinking black and white without the gray and like the spectrum in between, or seeing like that the opposites really are one, and there, and it depends on like maybe we can have them dance together in a way that makes it less destructive than if they're like polarized and trying to somehow compete or something. But yeah, Pisces is the connection with the divine and allowing that to be channeled through us. And for that, we first have to, in Scorpio, clear the channel, but yeah, that's the potential of Pisces. Yeah. Also good to remember that always the opposite signs, like with Aries, Libra, that are now the current moon's nodes are there. The moon's nodes are always in opposite signs too. So the opposite signs are always kind of like it's a possibility of like creating balanced whole by the polarity point of a placement like Pluto. With Pluto, it's like the opposite sign is like one main direction of evolution for your soul in this life. So it's like where your Pluto is, that's where you're coming from. You are kind of already established in that energy, and then to bring that even better into being and harmony, you need to strengthen the opposite sign of it to really bring it into that union of opposites vibe and dance with each other. And so these all these signs, there's 6 pairs of signs of opposite signs, and they all work that way similarly. So that's good to keep in mind too. And then also wanted to let you know that if you would like to have a reading with me, you can send me a message, an email, and I will send you then an offer for reading. I recommend 2 hours video call where I would generate your chart, and then you could give me some context from your life, and then about the themes that you would especially like to talk about, and then we can look from the chart, especially these things then, and also the evolutionary astrology main directions and placements in your chart. So that's an option if you're interested. And I can also make like composite charts that are for relationships. Can be like a romantic relationship or just within family members or friends too, where we can look at the combined energy of the two in the relationship. So that's also an option. Or the progress chart that shows the specific themes for a specific time in your life. So it could be like current progression or next solar return progression chart, or combinations of these different charts of what you would like to have read together. You can look at it and I can read for you. All right. Thanks for listening, and join the channel if you don't mind that there's some different languages going on. And also stuff about nature, forest gardening, not only astrology, also some mythology and these sort of things. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and take good care.